Now, shifting focus, the Supreme Court's monitoring committee has recommended limiting vehicle registrations to one car per family or requiring proof of dedicated parking space before purchasing a new vehicle. The move comes in response to the growing issue of unauthorized parking in Delhi's parks and public spaces, which disrupts traffic and harms the environment. Haphazard parking and encroachments have led to congestion and the conversion of parks into parking areas, causing loss of greenery and groundwater recharge. The committee's report calls for a policy to guide Delhi's development over the next 20 years. While the court has not yet addressed the recommendations, they are expected to be reviewed soon. So the Supreme Court's monitoring committee has made a recommendation to limit the vehicle registrations to one car per family or require proof of dedicated parking space before purchasing a new vehicle. My colleague Harish is now joining us with more context on this. Harish, tell us more about this recommendation that has been made by the Supreme Court's monitoring committee over one car per family.
Yes, that's right. If the Supreme Court's monitoring committee finally has its way, future vehicle registration in Delhi will be limited to only one car per family, or relevant authorities must ensure that the sale of a new vehicle be subject to whether the buyer has a dedicated parking space. So the three-member monitoring committee comprising of former bureaucrat Burela, Vijay Chibbar and SP Jingon came up with this drastic and strict recommendation after surprise visits to random spots in the capital. They were shocked at the rampant unauthorized conversion of Delhi's parks and public spaces into parking areas. This is what the panel said. During these field visits, a consistent theme observed was rampant unauthorized encroachment on the public spaces, especially the footpaths in front of the commercially used properties, leaving hardly any space for the public to walk. It says haphazard parking of vehicles on footpaths and service lanes caused congestion on roads, disrupting free flow of traffic. The report said, report filed by the committee has said. So the big takeaway is that vehicle registration will be limited to one car per family, or there should be a dedicated parking space. And if the Supreme Court panel recommendation is endorsed by the Supreme Court, these drastic and strict measures will be implemented. Back to you.
All right, Harish, thank you for getting us all those details and for that context. With that, we're now slipping into a very short break. We'll be right back with more stories on the other side. Stay with us.